Hey guys, welcome to this procedural creation series. In this one, we are going to attempt to make the rose window, which I created a while back. You can go check it out if you haven't. There's a time lapse workflow video of that, and this one is a step by step part one. We're gonna go over the reference and we're gonna plan our way into this material, and we're gonna then go about making a part of a design today. So let's get started. um, so as you can see, this was the actual material which I created in designer, and it is a bit daunting if you see it like this. um, it's for me as well if I see it like this, but it actually can be broken into two pretty simple parts. The first is the design, which of course is that black and white um, shape of this kind of an extrusion which is going to be happening, um, and also going to break that into parts as well, but that's getting ahead of myself. And the other part of this project is the material side of it, right? So let's just first talk about the design, because then the material is pretty simple in itself. It's really just up to you. So let's just get started. I'm not actually gonna work in this graph. I'm going to create a new substance graph for us. Let me just name it like rose window um, tutorial. The size can be 4K or 2K. It doesn't matter now. We can change it later, but uh, I'm gonna keep it 4K for now. And it says no output node defined. That's fine. I'm gonna just create a material node later. Now this series is not for absolute beginners. I hope that you have some basic knowledge or some kind of experience in Substance Designer, because I'm not going to be explaining what each and every node does. I'm gonna explain the workflow and some interesting nodes, but I'm not gonna explain what a blend node does, or what how the connection of nodes work and stuff like that, and the UI and the shortcuts. We are not gonna go over that. So let's just jump to the reference first. So I have this reference of this rose window with this basically inspired me to make this, and it's pretty interesting. If you see, it has a lot of design elements. It is a fairly complicated design, right? But it can be broken down into manageable parts. So the way I did it is I broke it down into basically three types of design. There's this really thick lines which I called primary design, or you can call it anything that you like. And then there's really not so thick lines and I call these as secondary. Oops. Yeah. And then there are these really subtle, but if you can notice them, these kind of metal designs which are kind of somehow embedded in the window. I don't know how um, I don't know how European architecture works, but I'm pretty sure these are embedded in the windows somehow. And I'm gonna call these, oops, not that much visible, yeah. I'm gonna call these a tertiary, or you can call it anything that you like. The point is to break the design down into manageable parts, and I'm gonna further break all of these down into different shapes, right? So let's just see that this one is one shape for me. So I'm gonna make this, and I'm thinking that this kind of a flower petal shape is one shape, and same goes for this. And so these are kind of those little elements that I need to um, make this entire primary design, right? So that's how we go about it, break them into small little parts, and then go about making them. And once you make one design, it's really easy to just circulate um, it into a kind of a flower design. And so let's actually get started. I'm gonna pick this one, this um, four clover leaf pattern, kind of, right? So let's go into designer, and yeah. So how would we go about making this? It's actually pretty simple if you think about it. Each of these designs is made up from primary shapes. So um, I can imagine it as four circles, kind of intersecting with each other, and making this shape, right? So I'm gonna make it like that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a shape node. I'm gonna change it to a disk, and then I'm gonna I don't even need to take the shape node, but still, let's just take it. And then I'm gonna take a circular splatter, circular. And this node, by the way, it's something that we're gonna be using a lot, because everything here is kind of spread in a circular fashion, and repeated in a circular fashion. So this is basically the backbone of this design, if you can see that, right? So I'm gonna plug it into the pattern input, and actually didn't need to do a separate shape node. There's actually um, a disk already here, but it just gives me that much more control, because if I want to do something to this, I can always just go ahead and do that. So it's always better to actually just take a shape and put it into the pattern input of splatter circular. And I'm gonna change this to image input now, so that it takes the actual input. And now we have this kind of a circular distribution of this pattern. So it's actually called a ring, and you can see that there are some settings for the ring here. The ring amount will tell you how many rings that you want, and yeah, and the pattern amount will tell you how many of those patterns will be in your ring, right? So as we discussed, this is a a four clover leaf design. So we're gonna just input 4 here, right? And these are so far away from each other, we're gonna have to make them um, not so far away from each other. So I'm gonna decrease the radius, and until and unless I get this kind of a this much distance from of these circles from each other is what I want, because I guess a bit more if you want, right? Right. And now it makes us a problem for us, because there's this empty diamond shape here, and it's easily it can be fixed easily. What you need to do is you need to add a blend node and blend it with a circular shape, and put this to screen, and I'm gonna put and just reduce the scale of this one. So what we did is we just added a circle here, right? And that way we are filling this gap. Yeah, and that's how you can easily make this this pattern. And you can also, I think this the distance between them is a bit much, so I'll just reduce it. Yeah, that's good, I guess. And I'm also going to rotate the ring, right? I think there must be some kind of a setting here, rotation, ring rotation. Yeah, here it is. So you can just put something like, yeah, this. Um, and one more thing you might be wondering is, in the reference it's actually a kind of a thick line, right? But what we have here is a solid filled shape, and the way we convert it into a thick line, or a thin line, or just a line, is pretty simple. It's just one node. It's called uh, edge detect. It's one of my favorites, um, because it just makes making making line patterns really easy. So I'm gonna invert this, and I'm gonna reduce the edge roundness so that I have um, something that's something that's not that much smoothed, right? So, and you can just easily adjust your edge width. I suggest you deciding on one edge width of your primary, secondary, and tertiary patterns. So let's say for primary, I'm gonna use let's say um, let's say 2.2, let's say 2, right, I think. Yeah. So I need to maybe note it down somewhere, or I just need to keep in mind that for primary patterns I'm using an edge width of 2, um, and that way you can be just consistent in your pattern. Also, try not to mm, make your patterns and just just using a transform node and scaling them down. It can easily uh, result in it being non-symmetrical, right? And just try to make it um, in the size that you think is appropriate from the start, and that's how basically you can just uh, approach making a simple shape like this. And yeah, in the next part we'll jump on more shapes, and yeah, see you there. Thank you for watching. Bye.